So, do your kids eat lip balm or just mine? Hi, I'm Mrs. Soap and Clay. Let's make stuff. How's it going, Sudsers? Welcome back to the channel. You are here for another round of 365 days of soap. And today, we're not making soap. We're making lip balm because lip balm is awesome and also edible. Though why you would want to is beyond me. Although, fun story, my kidlets were also the ones that I caught eating butter when they were toddlers. Like the whole stick. They're laughing about it right now. They just heard that and think it's hilarious. So yeah, no, lip balm. This is a really awesome recipe that I am going to give you in the info card below. And because it is so hydrating, it has the great cocoa butter in it, it has the candelilla wax, it has the castor oil and the avocado oil. It really makes for a really nice subtle shine while really locking in moisture and protecting your lips. Now this particular lip balm that we're doing today is our Honey Kisses, which is from our summer line. And so it has a little bit of an extra sugar kick to it too. Let's go watch the making of it and I will tell you all about it. Okay, so first things first, in lip balms, you are going to want to start off with sanitized containers. You want to make sure that everything is nice and sanitized and clean so we don't have any bacteria growing in our lip butters, our lip balms. And that is obviously incredibly important because why would you want bacteria on your lips? So everything has been sanitized, including the scale, because you never know when you're going to drop stuff on it. And then we are going to put our that's coconut oil into the container, weigh that out, and then we will move on to the candelilla wax. And the candelilla wax, it is a nice substitute for beeswax, and that's great to keep everything vegan and all that jazz. And unfortunately with candelilla wax, it is a softer wax than bees, I have noticed, and so you are working with a recipe that will end up being a little bit softer than it would be if it was bees, but we sort of make up for that with the incorporation of the cocoa butter. Now, cocoa butter in and of itself is great for any, lip balm recipe because obviously it helps out with, dry and cracked lips, and it helps retain your own moisture so your lips aren't, getting further damaged. And it has tons of vitamins. It's got vitamin A, B, C, D, E, probably F and G and H, and I'm stopping. But because cocoa butter is known to get grainy if it cools down at the wrong temperatures, I like to use the cocoa butter wafers for this particular recipe. Now, when it gets grainy in something like my sugar scrub lip balms, that's awesome. I definitely want that. But not so much for, just a regular lip balm. I don't want anything to be grainy on your skin when your lips and you're expecting, not graininess. And with this recipe, we also put in castor oil, which I love. It really has a cool plumping effect, and it's very, very good at holding your skin's own moisture in. And then we also have avocado oil, which is very antioxidant rich, and that is all good things that your lips want. Now we are going to melt this down and make sure everything is well incorporated, and we'll be ready to pour into the containers. It's a pretty simple process, right? All right, now it is time to do the pouring in the things. And this little lip balm tube holder thing, if you are going to be making lip balms, I highly recommend, getting this because it is amazing. It is so much easier than just having the lip balm containers sort of out on your counter and hoping that you don't accidentally bump them and knock everything over. Not that I've ever done that, because I'm not a disaster ever, which you've seen. Like, everything's been great all the time. I'm like, yeah, super not a disaster. Anyway, we are going to be putting into this a little bit of, we got some honey kisses, and there's also a sweetener in there that gives the solution a little bit of a sugar kick, actually. And so the sugar is cool. It has a little bit of a plumping effect. We got to be careful with sugar. If you put too much sugar into a lip balm, especially for me, because I love lip balm, and so anytime I'm around, you know, one of the tubes, I'm totally putting it on, and it's a thing. And if you put too much sugar in, it can end up being more humectant than you really want, and it can be drying. So it's just a little bit, just to give a nice little plump and some little sweetness to it. And also, we are going to put into this guy a copper mica. Now, this mica is completely lip safe. It's rated for all things. So, you know, soaps, lips, eyeshadow, all the jazz. And what this will do is it will give your lips a nice little kind of coppery, bronzy sheen, which I love. It is my absolute favorite. And we started doing this years and years ago for the pumpkin spice lip balms in the fall, and I loved it so much that I insist on keeping it in the, oh, look how cool the copper is when it does its thing. It's so pretty. But yeah, I insist on keeping it in the line for every season. Every season we swap out the flavors of the lip balms, right? But and sometimes we swap out the colors, but the copper, it always stays. So we might change the flavor, but we are definitely keeping the beautiful copper shimmer, because that's just my go-to. I most of the time forget to put lipstick on or whatever before I leave the house, and I'm just really not that kind of girl for the most part. And this makes my lips, you know, gives my lips some color and makes me look more put together than I ever actually am. Yeah. So yeah, the copper, beautiful, love it. Now, we are going to very carefully pour all of the lip balm into the containers there, and it can be a bit of a tedious process. And full disclosure here, this is actually not me making the lip balms. This is Georgia Mae, and she's very precise with all of the things, and so she's trying very, very, very hard to make sure everything is a perfect pour and she doesn't have any drips. And I know she hates it when it drips and it's the worst, and I don't pour like that. I'm more of a disaster. So props to Georgia Mae for doing such a good job with the pour. I really appreciate the care and attention to detail that she puts into everything in her life, and that's great. But once these are all poured into the little containers, we are going to let these set up and fully harden. I mean, it only takes about, 10 minutes or so to let them harden, really. And once that is done, we will need to do some finishing work on them, because as you can see, the first one that she poured there on the left lower corner, it's starting to harden up, and you can see that there's like a divot going on there, and that's just the nature of the beast when you are making lip balms. So the best way to fix that is to let it completely harden, and then you can fill in extra little holes that you may see anywhere, and also take some heat to the top to finish it all out, so you don't have that hole really. So yeah, you see all the little holes that exist at the top of all those. That's not great. That's not a nice clean finish. And so the best way to get rid of those holes is to take a heat gun to all of the containers and just give a couple seconds on each one and move it around rather quickly, because you obviously don't want anything to melt. But you see, we have the gloves on and it's not melting the gloves, and you see, ooh, pretty, isn't that cool? Yeah, so you definitely need to be patient with this step, because if you just put it on high and put it right next to the lip balms, it doesn't really work out. It's not great. And yeah, so nice gentle melting down of the tops, and it will then everything will sort of fall into the holes that are left in the middle, and it gives a, you know, a beautiful professional look, which is good. You obviously want your lip balms to look professional. And I actually just realized that I have not edited this video, and so you're getting just like the completely raw, uncut footage with all of this. So that's fun. You get to see the entire process from cradle to grave, although I'm going to speed it up at this point because it's getting, yeah, it's fun watching the holes get filled, but then it gets really, I don't know, frustrating because the holes seem to come back no matter what. So you have to keep going over them until it's all, they give up the ghost and they stay, the lip balm stays where it's supposed to. Now, again, this recipe is really, it's a good recipe. It's well formulated for basically all types of lip problems. It's really good for people with just a tendency to have dry, chapped lips. It's also really good for people who have a tendency to break out into like cold sores because of the protective nature of the castor oil as well as the avocado oil, and then you have the cocoa butter, which is sealing in your own moisture, and it does like give a really nice barrier that just lets your lips be and do their thing. And you know, obviously the incorporation of the copper shimmer is also great because then you look super pretty while your lips are just being, and you know, being awesome. And yeah, the final step in this is going to be capping them off, and then we, you know, put the labels on them and do the things, and you put them on your lips and you enjoy the things. And this particular recipe, this size, is pretty small. It does 13. Look at that. There's 13 there. So 13 lip balms with this recipe, and that's great. You know, make some for you and give a couple to your kids to eat because my kids eat lip balm, and you know, your friends and all that jazz. And it's a wonderful recipe. Lip balms are great. I love everything about them. And yeah, this is a day 72 lip balms. They are amazing, and I love Georgia Mae's really professional job with all this. And what is she doing here? She's gonna, what are we, oh, she's gonna try to put them all in her hands, and I think that is no easy feat. But look at that, you did it. Way to go. So there you have it, the Honey Kisses lip balm. I really love the copper sparkle in these ones. It's one of my favorite things to actually put in lip balm. So every single season, while the pinks may change and we might throw in some purples and some other crazy things every once in a while, the copper is a mainstay. So while we may change what they taste like, there's definitely always a copper one every single season. Yeah, and that's kind of it for the lip balms today. If you have any questions about the process, or you know, how to formulate good lip balm recipes, or you know, anything in general, let me know. I am available. Put a note in the comments. Feel free to DM me, that works too. If you are interested in any of our lip balms for the summer line, you can find them on the website at soapandplay.com. Again, we have 3 varieties. We swap them out every season. And if you're interested in more soapy awesomeness, you know, subscribe to the channel because we're doing this every day. And I will see you again tomorrow. Bye.